You know, this is a show that is like a tour of Pennsylvania. So we've got still to come Lancaster, Pennsylvania, represented with Stoltzfus. We had a delicious offering of the Pennsylvania-based food truck, Falker. And now we've got Jenny Lee's, who is on the west side of Pennsylvania. In Pittsburgh area. Jenny Lee's Bakery is a four-generation family of bakers whose, by the way, last name is Baker.
By the way, we're 5 generations.
Is it 5
it's
generations?
5.
It's 5. I missed one.
That's okay.
Marie-Louise Ludwig is here to talk to us today, though, about the Jenny Lee 4 18-ounce loaves. So these are the big loaves in the blueberry muffin or cinnamon choice in the cinnamon swirl breads. $29.98 is the price. What you can get is 4 loaves in the cinnamon, or you can get 4 loaves in the blueberry muffin, or you can get what you see here, and that is the combo. So it would be 2 of the cinnamon and 2 of the blueberry muffin. Only order of the season on this particular offer. The sale price on this goes up at the end of the day, $29.98. So backstory is 5 generations
of the Baker family, and we are going outside of Pittsburgh to the beautiful town of McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania, which smells like cinnamon any given day. And happy birthday to Jenny Lee. 150 years of creating this traditional, delicious fermented yeast bread, the same way they've been doing it all of these generations. And today, if you love yourself a good blueberry muffin, stay tuned, because they have got blueberry muffin meets their delicious yeast bread.
I love it. All right, we'll start with the blueberry muffin then, and we'll go to the cinnamon.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, look, we've got yeast bread. There's something about yeast bread. The crumb, the texture, the way it's made in small batches, and you can see that signature Jenny Lee swirl all the way through. You've got that cinnamon sugar all the way through. 2 different kinds of blueberries in here. So you have a cultivated blueberry. What does that mean? A dried blueberry, so you can see all the little pieces in there. And then you have fresh blueberries that are flash frozen at their peak of plumpness, and they're added frozen into the batter and stirred into the dough. And what they do is they break up a little bit. So you've got blueberry explosion all the way through, and that little tinge of blue that you see is a blueberry blue. But I think one of the big secrets is on the outside. Not only the shape, but the way they finish off every single loaf after it is baked in a butter bath. They dip it in butter. They finish it off with a cinnamon sugar. It's an Indonesian, Vietnamese cinnamon sugar that's got a little kick to it, and it is so good on the outside. So that's the new blueberry. Oh, by the way, and there's 100 pounds of vanilla pudding cake mix also stirred into that batter. I almost forgot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it makes it really exceptionally
makes it delicious.
different.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then of course the classic
and the classic,
cinnamon.
look at this, all the way through. I have to tell you, all of that cinnamon sugar goes into that beautiful yeast bread. It toasts up magnificently, but let's go to McKees Rocks, shall we? Let's take a little look at the bakery there. We love that. Starting with sustainable ingredients, including cage-free eggs. Look, we still have our family of bakers on deck doing everything, watching over the whole process in there. It rises, it's sheeted out. On your immediate left is Bernie, Generation 4, that's Scott's Baker's dad. It gets rolled up with all of that cinnamon sugar or whatever ingredients are in it. That looks to be like blueberries. It gets weighed and it gets put into these specially designed crimped pans. So after it's done baking, it gets that signature round shape. It goes into that butter bath. All of that butter gets absorbed into all of the nooks and crannies. Finished off with that cinnamon sugar, we slice it for you, about 19 to 20 slices per loaf. We put it into a wrapper, we ship it to you fresh, and we say eat it or freeze it for 6 months.
And when you get it home, think about some of the things you can do with it.
Oh my goodness,
perfectly toasted, put it in the toaster, eat it fresh in the morning with your favorite butter, jam, jelly. Make a stacked sandwich. Use it for your hot dogs or your burgers. Perfect for your chicken salad. If you want to make it a sweet treat, then you can do so by adding fresh fruit and some kind of cream topping. But really, it's the pure ingredients. It's 5 generations of tradition, 150 years of baking that has not changed.
Yeah.
They make more of them now than they did by hand, 150 years ago. But the process and the ingredients of this yeasted dough has not changed. They just get better. And what I love is that, when QVC or, the buyers say, Scott, come up with something new. He immediately
He does.
thinks of the flavor profiles that are the most popular. And blueberry is one of them. A blueberry muffin is just like a treat.
I love this. So there's a little bit of vanilla sweetness in there. Remember, 2 different kinds of blueberries, dried blueberries and the fresh blueberries that are frozen and break apart a little bit into that yeast dough. So all the way through, look, I'm getting ready to butter one right here. You have got blueberries from start to finish on here. And as you said, this is great. I love it with tuna fish and chicken salad, but it's also a great way, and think about 4 loaves, to make something like a French toast. And you know, there's a new way of making a French toast I just learned. Do you want to know what that is?
Sure.
You melt vanilla ice cream, and instead of making egg batter, you dip it in the vanilla ice cream, then you put it in the griddle.
Really?
It makes a delicious French toast. So doing French toast in the morning, this is also really easy to do.
And is it called French toast when you use vanilla ice cream?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. Also a great thing to do with a bread pudding. Just break it up into pieces so you've got like a loaf and a half, heavy cream, different kinds of sugars in there, eggs, put it into the oven with your favorite fruits, maybe add some additional blueberries and berries, and you have got the most delicious bread.
This is the best part of the bread. Now, normally, no one wants the heel when it comes to bread.
Yes.
But when it comes to Jenny Lee, everybody wants that heel because it's got all of the things that we love about that yeasted dough on one side.
Look at the
and
blueberries.
it is packed with that cinnamon sugar on the outside and, of course, the butter bath on top. So the offer is 4 loaves. You can have all 4 in either the blueberry or in the cinnamon, or you can get that combo that you see here, 2 of each of the flavors. If you haven't tried it, I always recommend the combo first.
Combo's a good way to go.
97071 is the item number.
Great to
Thank
be
you,
here.
Marie
Thanks,
Louise.
everybody.
Always a pleasure. All right. So you know what else you might want to put on that bread?